Hello and welcome to This Week at Barrow. Here's a look at what's coming up on this episode. I talked to our main shirt sponsor J.F. Hornby & Co, our back of shirt sponsor Phil Collier Associates and our short sponsor Earthly Matters about their sponsorship for the 2017-18 season.
Because like I say, it is our hometown club and it is about giving back and it's about putting something back into the club.
Manager Paul Cox and Chairman Paul Casson talk about various issues, including what excites Paul Cox the most about the coming season. And we have a look at Barrow's new trio of signings, Dan Jones, Asa Hall and Bedsenté Gomis. J.F. Hornby & Co will be our main shirt sponsors again for the coming Vanarama National League campaign. I spoke to Paul Hornby about what his company does and what excites him the most about this sponsorship deal.
We do anything accounts related, from VAT, payroll, annual accounts, any tax work. We raise finance for some companies, make bank propositions and anything in between really. I was born in Barrow, this is my club, these are my colours, and it was just great to be involved in your local team. Anything that we can do to help build a sustainable club here is what we can put back into the community, put back into the town. Well, the commercial aspect's great, you know. This year the club's been on TV 3 times, it's been in the national papers, it's been in the local papers, so our brand is all over, and I'd be lying if I said commercially it hadn't been good for us. But that's a secondary thing really, you know. We got involved in this club because, like I say, it is our hometown club and it is about giving back and it's about putting something back into the club. So I think from a personal point of view, it was a personal pride thing that it's something that we could do for Barrow football.
Our back of shirt sponsor for the 2017-18 season will be Phil Collier Associates. I spoke to Phil about how he got involved with the club in the first place and why he chose to sponsor the Bluebirds.
Well, Phil Collier Associates provides various levels of business support and project management support for a wide range of businesses. We look at things like business plan, structure, strategy, risk within businesses, and again, as I say, picking up internal projects from an external perspective and driving those through using internal resource and driving those through to a conclusion for the business. When I came up here in 2000, I would go back to Anfield as often as I could until a work colleague persuaded me to come down to Holker Street, and very quickly the sort of the passion and the realness, if you will, of non-league football. I played non-league football in my youth, and sort of that sort of real aspect, if you will, of the game, the accessibility, the approachability of a club like Barrow just hooked me from a very early stage of coming through the turnstiles here. This will be the 8th season coming up now that I've been involved in sponsoring at various levels, and undoubtedly the advertisement and sponsorship has brought some business, but it's more than that. It's the involvement in the club and just feeling a part and being a part of the club, and particularly at the moment when you look at the exciting journey that the club is going on at the present time under the new owners. What an exciting time to be involved.
Finally, our short sponsor for the coming season is our head groundsman Gareth Morgan's company, Earthly Matters. I spoke to Gareth about why he chose to sponsor the Bluebirds for the coming season.
Yeah, it's something that I just generally got asked about and went home, thought about it, and it's a way of getting a bit of exposure for the business. Because on top of doing the football club, we also look after 10, 12 junior schools and other schools in the area, looking after their sports pitches and school grounds as well. So it's just that, and had my ground board last year and just thought this time I'd up it a little bit and go another phase. So we're now doing the short sponsorship for the 2017-18 season with an option for doing the 18-19 season.
Chairman Paul Casson and manager Paul Cox were at the ground this week to meet and discuss various things. I managed to have a chat with them and find out what has been going on to prepare Barrow for the coming season.
We've had to be patient, said in the fans forum that I think patience is key to make sure we get the right players at the right cost that want to come to this club. Like I say, hope to get the whole nucleus of the squad sorted by the first day of pre-season, which is the 30th of this month.
What are you hoping to get out of the pre-season friendlies?
Knowledge. I need to learn about the players that we've kept from last season, as well as the nucleus of players that we're bringing in. see how they work under stress and in different environments, so I can put a team together that will be competitive next year.
Question for you, Paul. What excites you most about the coming season?
I think it allows us to put in a lot of what we've learned over the past few years. I think we've gone into each one of the last few seasons a little bit blind or naive or all of the above. First season, obviously, in the Conference North, it was our first season, and really it was a bit of an adventure then. We went full time, and so that was a big learning curve. And I think last year was probably the first season where we truly thought we could be competitive in this league, and in fact we were for long periods. And I think what we learned from that to translate what we did in the first half of the season into the second half of the season so we can finish the job off, I think would be really exciting. I can't imagine what it would be like around here if we were actually seriously in the playoff hunt with a game to go.
Finally, a question for other Paul. What do you enjoy most about being manager of Barrow?
I've said in the past, I think it's the building. It's building something. When I came here, we speak to Paul. We knew the plan ahead. I think we've made great strides, but I think there's a huge scope for improvement. And I think as looking at the plan, the building, we want to improve and grow as a football club, and I think that excites me.
Also visiting Barrow from Texas this week is lifelong supporter Mike Wilson. I talked to Mike about his affinity for the club and what it's like following the Bluebirds from the Lone Star State.
I actually didn't know Barrow had a team until I was about 11, 12, because obviously as a kid you don't read newspapers and things, and Barrow weren't on the telly back in the day. So I actually supported Arsenal for my sins before Barrow, but then when I moved to the Griffin, and I think I was about 12, Griffin's the estate just over the road by the train tracks, I then saw a stadium, noticed Barrow was playing, and then slowly but surely got into football.
So I understand you moved out to Texas about 15 years ago.
Yeah.
How do you follow the Bluebirds whilst you're living out there?
These days it's quite easy actually, because we have the live radio broadcast. Used to be Radio Cumbria, but now we get the hospital radio as well with Adam and them on there, so that's pretty good. And with social media and the internet, it's fairly easy to be honest, because you can read all the reports, you get the interviews, people like yourself now do the videos, I get the live game, I can listen to it all. So it's not that bad. Obviously we're flirting on, do we ever get back into the Football League, which has kind of been our holy grail for all my life basically, because it was 72 when we came out of the league, unjustly at the time. And then we've always been chasing that dream, so to me the first day back ever in the league will be a very, very special day.
This week, Paul Cox has made a trio of signings in Dan Jones, Asa Hall and Bedsenté Gomis. Defender Dan Jones joins the Bluebirds after his release from Grimsby Town at the end of last season. Jones has made almost 40 appearances in the Football League and can play at centre-back or left-back. Former Oxford United and Cheltenham Town midfielder Asa Hall brings more Football League experience to the Bluebirds, having made nearly 300 appearances in the EFL. Asa Hall actually scored the winner for Cheltenham Town against Barrow here at Holker Street in February 2016. Finally, midfielder Bedsenté Gomis joins Barrow, having played in every round of Sutton United's memorable FA Cup journey last year. Barrow fans will be hoping that he can score more goals like this one that he scored against Crystal Palace in a friendly last summer. That's all for this week. You can subscribe and use the hashtag ThisWeekAtBarrow on social media to join in the discussion. And make sure you join us here again next Monday when, amongst other things, we will be looking at the construction work on our new floodlights. Goodbye.